guys, and welcome to the Shifty Crowd podcast. Welcome to this week's show. Today we have the best beard in the business, the Gears of War. I can't even say it right. It's the beard of war, Mr. Vince Haley. How are we doing, Vince?
Doing great, Adam. Doing great.
Ready for the podcast?
A wonderful day. Oh, absolutely. Always ready for the podcast.
Also joining us today, as usual, is the Pun Master General. The Pun Master.
He's lost it.
General.
He's lost it.
I've lost it.
You know, I
usually nail it. The Pun Master General, the Retro King, Mr. Terry Jess. How you doing, Terry?
I'm good. The lockdown has becoming a bit of a problem now, guys. It's getting out of hand, and I don't know what to do. It's like I'm at that level now where it's just like, we're so close to maybe the barbers opening up again. Like, do I wait or do I just kind of buzz it all off? I don't know. I'm at that point where I just don't know what to do.
Bald Terry. I need to see bald Terry.
The struggle is real. The struggle. This is the longest my hair I think has ever been in many, many years. So, but yeah, it's got to the point where I'm just like, I can't handle it anymore. I just can't tame the beast.
Yeah, I know it doesn't look like it on this, but yeah, my hair's getting a lot longer than I like. It needs I keep doing it myself, but I'm kind of holding out and saying, no, I need a barber to do it. I want it done properly. And
yeah,
hopefully the end is near and we can actually go to a barber shop.
The first lockdown that we had, I had my wife cut it, and she did like what I would normally get, like, which is like a 2 at the back and sides and going into a 1 and quite long on top, but she couldn't blend it. So I had just this ridiculous like bowl cut of long hair on top. I looked like a Peaky Blinder, and it was not a good look. So now I'm like scared of doing that again. So I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. The struggle is real. That's it. And that's it.
April, isn't it?
Exactly. And it's like, now we're that close. I'm like, do I just kind of ride this through, try and get through this, wait till a professional can take care of this?
Just start rocking a hat.
Yeah. I might chuck on the old Los Santos cap. Caps don't suit me. I can't pull off caps. I just can't do it.
I'm the same. Even beanies don't look great on me. I've got a big head. Like I always look like an idiot in them.
Wish I could wear them.
I should do a little bit of housekeeping before we get too far into it, guys. If you haven't seen some of our previous videos, there's been a little bit of a change around in the way that we do things. So on the podcast today, there'll be no debate, but don't you worry. You can head over on a Monday and see Campaign Mode, our brand new show, which is where the debate is now. It's its own show. It's about an hour long, and we really go at it and rip each other to shreds. This week, we are going about the best game development studio of all times. And there's some good choices on there. I'm not going to spoil it for you. That'll be live on Monday. So head over there and have a look on YouTube. And the podcast is just going to be our place where we just sit back, relax, no agenda, and just talk and chat and have a few drinks.
Sounds good.
It's a chilled environment. It was as chill as I could be anyway. I usually get too hyped up on camera. So I guess the most important question that we have to start this with isn't the usual, what have you been playing? We'll get to that. It's what are you drinking? What are you drinking? So I'm going to go to you first, Vince. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Blue Moon because it's great. The only beer I actually like.
Is it a pale ale, a lager, a pale ale?
No. It's an ale. The wheat ale.
Oh,
bit of
like
orange
a kind of craft kind of drink.
Oh, okay. Is it nice?
Great. The only beer I like besides like Guinness.
Really? If you weren't going to have beer, what would you like normally go to? What should you go to? Is it a spirit? Like is it a liquor?
Vodka, usually.
Straight to the vodka. Straight to the big V.
Straight in with the golden goose, the grey goose, and the Smirnoff, and the
You get that and mix it with anything, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's be
Just
honest.
down that
Vodka
for
goes with
hours.
anything.
And after a while, you're just
With
gone.
saliva as it just goes down the gullet. Oh man, I can't.
Vodka used to be my go-to in like my teen years. That was like my. It was just like did you Adam, like, did you, I don't know if it was the same for you, Vince, like when you were young, did you go through that alky pop stage, like where
WKDs, yeah, Smirnoff Ice. Not sponsored
like
by
so
any of these.
basically
Yeah.
like did you have anything like Bacardi Breezes or anything like that, or Smirnoff Ice? Did you have anything like that?
I mean, there was Smirnoff Ice. There was Mike's Hard Lemonade, Red's Apple Ale.
Yeah. So basically, I could never drink any of them now. Like ridiculously sweet, like just so much sugar in them.
No.
Can you remember the Iron Brew Wicked WKD, the orange one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was probably the best flavor. Like I absolutely loved that one when I was a kid. And you'd have
hooch as well, like
hooch.
the original lemon hooch and apple hooch. Oh man,
what was the one that had numbers in it? It had like was it 2020? Or
don't know that.
like that.
I remember VK because that was like the one that
Apple
he sold
VKs.
in the clubs. They always sold them like the little plasticky bottles you get in the clubs.
I had that maybe 2 years ago. I went to Norwich, which is a small town in England. It's basically a university town, Vince. And I went with some friends from my old job, and we went for a weekend for one of my friends. She was having a stag do. Out of her and her partner, she decided to have the stag do, and her partner, I think they went away somewhere. So we went to the student union, and because my friend went to uni there, and it was just like 3 for 1 on Apple VKs. And so when you're in your early 20s, that's absolutely fine. But when you're like, I think I was like 28 at the time, 29, and all I drank is Apple VKs. I thought I had diabetes by the time I got back to my hotel. Like I was shaking. Like the amount of sugar that is in them, it is unreal.
Adam, how far are you from Norwich? How long would it take you to get there?
That's a good question, Terry. But since moving here, I've not been anywhere, so I couldn't really tell you. But I think I'm about an hour.
Yeah, I'm about an hour. So I'm thinking when this all blows over, because I've heard they got the Brewdog down there.
Yeah,
apparently does some very good wings.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking,
how far for you is it, Vince?
How long would it take for you to get to Norwich, Vince?
Maybe like a few hours.
Put it in Google Maps. Let's see. But apparently they do some good wings there apparently, and obviously some good craft ale. So that sounds.
We'll maybe we can record the podcast on 2 screens. We'll do one of the episodes live from Norwich, where
Shifty Crab live straight from Brewdog Norwich,
live-ish, because one of us will be in America. First of all, can you spell Norwich? It's one of those annoying UK spellings.
It is one of those annoying UK spellings.
Norwich.
I was going to say there's a W in there somewhere that you wasn't expecting that crept up on you.
Yep. Let's see. It would take me about 18 hours and 25 minutes.
Not far at all.
That's not too bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think I'm maybe less than an hour now. I was an hour and a bit because from London it's only about an hour and a half topped, an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So I must be closer to it here because I'm closer to East Anglia. I'm closer to Anglia.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, there's some geography talk for you. So Vince, if you want to set off like 2 days before we're going to meet there, you can. Next time, obviously, we'll go to you. We'll go to you. Yeah. We'll go to New York. That's close to you, isn't it? That's only just down the road.
It's only down the road, yeah.
No, it's about
it's like in America. It's quite
hours.
small, is what I've heard about America.
Yeah. Oh, no, very large. That's probably another 12 hours for me.
12 hours.
Could it be 12 hours
Roughly.
to New York, 18 hours to Norwich in England?
Yeah. That's how
this is as the crow flies. I'm sure. Like, if you were Superman and you're just going at moderate speed, then I'm sure like you'd get to Norwich in 18 hours.
Yeah. Are you
Probably.
are you North Carolina or South Carolina?
Yes, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, which is the original Carolina?
What one's the
I'm
bad
pretty sure
one?
it's North
You would
because
say
they
that.
landed in not Roanoke. Man, my mind gone. No idea.
And
With me on
whereabouts
my
in
own
the country are you?
history. Whereabouts in the
Well, yeah,
country?
on the near the coast, right? It's a
You're coastal, aren't you, in North Carolina? Are you? No?
Well, North Carolina is a coastal state.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about maybe 3 hours from the coast.
It's so crazy. Like I
Yeah.
can't even get it in my brain. Like,
Do you know what's the
Yeah.
stat in England? You only at its most inner point, you're only 70 miles from the coast.
yeah.
In the most central part of England, you're only 70 miles from the sea.
That's insane.
Like so, like where I live now,
Mm.
I think of it as like it's in the countryside. It's very much kind of like a market town in the sticks, but still, I only have to drive 25 minutes, and I'm at the sea. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Wild.
Very different sizes of places.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's it does put it in perspective sometimes when you see the size of America.
Yeah, we could just be swallowed up whole in
By
in
most
US.
states, I think.
Basically, yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, what's your smallest state? Is it
The
Hawaii?
smallest state? Ooh. I keep forgetting if DC
Maybe,
counts
like,
itself as a state.
New
even
York's
though it
got to
is
be one of
the
them, right?
capital. Let's see.
Because I
New
want to
York
know if the smallest
may-
state is smaller than the UK, or if we're the same size as the small state, even if we'd fit into that.
I would say just off the top of my head, the UK's got to be around the size of New York State, maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know. I might maybe talking at my ass there.
Rhode Island is the smallest state.
Okay. Does it have a size in miles, like in length?
I'll look it up.
No, don't have to if you don't want to. You can come back to it. But I'm just curious to see if we are bigger than the smallest state.
1,034 square miles.
Nope.
Nope.
We're smaller than that, aren't we?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll search that. How?
Yeah,
big?
you look that up and I'll give you an estimate of which state your entire country is closest to.
The UK, that's kilometers. I don't want kilometers.
Yeah, you want miles.
There should be a way in Google Maps where you can just kind of cut around anything and like kind of copy and paste it over another country. I'm sure you can do that in Photoshop easily.
Oh, well, I've got the answer anyway. The closest state in size to England is Louisiana.
Louisiana, okay.
Yeah. Louisiana only has 4 million people living in it. We have 12 times the population within our country. There you go. Come here and learn some geography.
Insanity. That's what this podcast is about now.
That covers the geography part of the podcast. We're going to move on to religion. No, we're going to skip that one. We're going to go to
definitely skip that one.
We don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, listen, we're fundamentally a games channel, so we should really talk about what we've been playing. And I think, Vince, you've already said that you've just been working on Gears of War still, so you haven't actually played anything new.
No.
Still grinding those gears.
You know, ever since Bethesda put a shitload of games on Game Pass, I've downloaded a lot. I have no idea when I'm actually going to play them, but they're there when I want to play them.
Well, at least you're getting a back catalogue ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in quickly what I've been playing because I know that you, Terry, you've played a few things. Two things really. One of them you've already spoken about before, so I know that'll be quicker. But you've been playing something else. I've been playing Marquette, which was a PS5 game. It's a puzzle game that was released on PS5. It's on the PlayStation Plus this month. If you want to try it out, I wanted to give it a go because realistically, there's not really too much new to play on the PlayStation 5. I didn't really want to start something I've already done. And I haven't had much time with our new schedule and stuff like that. There's been a lot of editing the last week. So I thought I'd give it a bit of a go. It's a puzzle game. That is not a good game.
No?
No, like, do you know what? And I know a lot of people have said this. It makes me really motion sick. And it's just
Weird.
the movement's not smooth, and when you're moving from big to small continuously, because it's a game that plays very heavily on size. So there's a central square, which is like a market square, and it's about a love story. So there's a very loose narrative to it, which honestly I'm not really paying much attention to. And stuff that you do in the small square affects the stuff outside in real time. It's a really cool dynamic. So let's say you find a key in the outer area, and you bring that key into the smaller area and drop it. It's obviously going to look a lot bigger because it's a small area, but the key stays the same size. But when you drop it in the small area big, it transfers back out to the bigger area to the size that it looks like in the smaller area. So I know you manipulate size all the time, but with the camera and the way they do it, it makes me so motion sick playing it. And I don't really get motion sick. Occasionally in VR, I've had the issue, but I don't like being spun around. But yeah, in games it very rarely affects me. But this game, it's difficult. It's difficult for me to play, and the mechanics I find quite boring. And it's a well-made game for you have to put a lot of thought into it, but no, it's not really doing it for me. But it's free, it's part of PlayStation Plus, so
it sounds similar to, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe you guys can. There was a game where whatever your perspective was of looking at something, it changed the size of the object. So
yeah.
So yeah, if you picked up
something like that, or
something like that, you picked up like a can, and it would be like in front of you, but obviously it would be large but and then you'd put it down, and then it would be that size, if it was out close. And that was quite clever. It sounds similar to that, but a little bit different.
But the difference with that game, which it does really well, is it happens instantaneous. It's there. You make it bigger. You keep going. With this, whenever you do anything, you then have to trek your way back to where that's relevant and do it. So it's a lot of going back and forth and trying stuff out. And when you're small, it's ages to get anywhere because there's no run. So you can't move at any quicker speed, but you've got triple the distance to travel. It's just so far, I've probably done about half of it, and I'll finish it just to say I finished it, but I'm not enjoying it.
Sure.
But that's really all I've played. I played a bit more Stranded Deep, but I've not really played too much. But Terry, what have you been playing this week?
So I have gone back to the well on pretty old game from the previous generation. So as I mentioned to you guys before, pretty big Mortal Kombat fan. Mm-hmm. And watching the trailer for the film got me in the mood for a bit more Mortal Kombat goodness. And I've gone back to playing Mortal Kombat X, otherwise known as Mortal Kombat 10. So I got this when it came out in 2015, I think it was. And as I mentioned before, huge Mortal Kombat fan. I'm not the biggest fighting game player, but the Mortal Kombat series is just one of my favorite franchises. I've been playing it since mainly since 2. 2 is still my favorite fighting game of all time on the Mega Drive. Absolutely love it. And I've played pretty much every mainline game in the series. The only ones I think I kind of missed was Armageddon and MKVDC. And I didn't really like the look of the MKVDC because it didn't have the gore in it and stuff like that. I was just like, this is not more Mortal Kombat. But so I haven't got 11 yet, Mortal Kombat 11, and I know how good that looks, but I won't let myself get that yet because I was thinking, should I get Mortal Kombat 11 because I'm feeling some MK? I was like, I didn't really play enough of 10. I could finish the story back when it came out, did the campaign, and that was it. But normally when I play through Mortal Kombat, I just go through everything, do every mode, collect all the items in the crypt, which are always quite a big thing. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go back and do this and not necessarily go for 100% on the platinum, but, you know, get the most out of it. And yeah, so I've been going back and playing that again. And I'll tell you what, it still holds up really, really well for a game that's like 6 years old. It plays really well. Yeah, for anyone that hasn't played the recent entries in Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm Studios, which is still the same team that have been making them since the beginning, they pretty revolutionized fighting game story modes with starting with I'd say Mortal Kombat on the PS3 360, which was technically MK9, and that was the first one to kind of introduce this new kind of campaign mode where it was everything before that in fighting games. We just had choose a fighter, work your way up the stages, get maybe a cutscene at the end. Whereas in Mortal Kombat MK9, it was like this proper story full of cutscenes, like and you transition between different characters, and then that fused into what was the DC game? I can't think of the DC fighting game. Injustice, yes.
Yeah.
They then like improved on that even more with Injustice, which was also NetherRealm, and then back again with MKX, and then Injustice 2. Yeah, so and to be honest, I think they've just put themselves in a different stratosphere, like with fighting games in that regard. And yeah, so yeah, MKX. I haven't been going through the story again because I did that back then, but I've just kind of been working through what they call the towers, and there's these things called live towers. So it's not like the traditional where you're just playing through your bog standard towers. In the live towers, these things, they're like your dailies, like you get in an online game. So these things change. You've got like your weekly ones. There's a daily one, and then there's an hourly one, and they change. And these towers, you work your way up them, different characters, and there'll always be different aspects that change. So there'll be like I don't know, like in this hourly tower, there's going to be lasers that are randomly shooting on the stage. You've got to dodge, or maybe both of your health are depleting quicker, or you know, there's all these little gimmicky things that are thrown in. And if you complete any of these towers, then you unlock that mode to implement in your own games if you're setting them up. So I've been doing a lot of the live towers, playing through all the different characters, getting quite a lot of trophies. But what I've realized is I'm never be able to going to get the platinum on this, because the platinum needs some online trophies to be collected. There's a few. One of them is like a King of the Hill trophy, and one of them is like it's an online trophy where you have to win. It's something like 10 games consecutively or something like that. I tried playing online. I got my ass absolutely handed to me, and I was just I played a few games, and I played a King of the Hill, a few King of the Hill matches, and I don't know if you've ever done this on fighting games. It's basically there'll be a load of people in the lobby watching the games, and it's kind of winner stays on kind of thing. And when you've got a bunch of people watching you and you're getting your ass handed to you, it's even more humiliating. But yeah, these people are on a different level, and it's made me realize, like, yeah, do you know what? I'm never going to be able to play this game competitively. I never have with fighting games. I just enjoy them for what they are, for the stories and stuff like that. But yeah, but no, still very much enjoying it. But I'm working my way through. What I am going to do is I want to, which I always do in the MK games, is unlock all of the content in the crypt. So in the crypt, there's this kind of area which you can walk around in a kind of first-person mode. And there's all of these kind of gravestones and tombs, and each one of them has amount of coins you have to pay to unlock them. And you'll get a lot of random stuff in there. Like there's a lot of shit in there. There'll be like concept art you unlock. There'll be like different costumes, but then you also unlock like new fatalities for the different characters and new stages. It could be new battle music, but basically all the extra content in the game. So and you earn coins obviously from, you know, winning fights and different modes and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to work my way through it, and then once I've kind of finished everything, and I'm just going to kind of chip away in between games. once I've finished it all off, then I'll allow myself to get MK11, which looks so cool. But so yeah, I've been playing that, and of course, Adam, as you said, I've been playing some more Final Fantasy 14. So here's a little update. Here's a little update from Eorzea. So I have now finished all of the content in the update 2.2 through the Maelstrom. I have defeated Leviathan, and now I've started the next content, which is in 2.3, which is can't remember the name of that, but that's the one where I'm going to be fighting the primal Ramu, the god of thunder. So working my way through that. I spent a lot of time working on configuring my UI and my rotations and stuff like that, because that's something I've never really done on this game. I've never really played. I've pretty much just kind of coasted my way through, not coasting my way through, but I played quite casually. And I just kind of like use whatever spells I wanted to use, whatever moves I wanted to use, not really thinking too much about it. But over the last week, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and really thinking, okay, I want to know how to play this class well at end level. And I need to know what I'm doing. So I've had to really retrain myself and my muscle memory. And not only that, completely reconfigure my button layout, because this isn't as easy as like when you're playing on PC and you just think, oh, I'll just change my toolbars and I'm just going to click on these spells. Like on the PlayStation, although it plays really well, you still really have to think about where you're going to map your spells to, because you have to do a different combination of things to like access different spells, whether it's like holding R2 and then moving up to access those, stuff like that. So, but yeah, you have when you're fighting in Final Fantasy 14, you have things called rotations, and rotations are basically, here's what sequence you should be doing these spells in for what scenario you're in. So whether it's like, maybe it's like a 1v1 or more AoE where you've got like more enemies in an area, here's what you should be doing at this level. So I've been looking at like what spells I should be using. Oh my god, since I changed it up, I did not realize how powerful I was, because I was just like spamming the same spells. Now I realize that how much like DPS I could actually do. It's quite cool. So yeah, I'm kind of relearning the class in a certain way, and just enjoying it. Just slowly working my way through the story content, but yeah, still loving it.
Cool. I'm glad you're still enjoying it, and now you moved on. You've not done this. Is this the one that you've not done before? This new update?
So I was actually thinking this. So this is the one I'm going through now, 2.3. I definitely was in the. I went back into the game, I think, when like 2.5 came out.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I did all of the two. I don't think I did 2.4 content, story content. I know I didn't. I can't remember if I actually faced Ramu or not in 2.3. I'm not sure. But I know I had a break from it, and I jumped back into when they released 2.5, because they released the Gold Saucer amusement park, and I was like, I've got to go and check this out. So I think when I went back into it at that point, I probably just jumped in and I just went to that area and then didn't go, do any of the story mode. So I think I'm pretty much almost at that point now where, the furthest I've been story-wise.
Okay, you actually brought up a really good point. So I just go back a little bit to Mortal Kombat, saying that you're probably not the best at the fighting games and stuff like that, and you got your ass kicked when you went online.
Yeah.
If there was a gaming Olympics and you had to take part, whether you think you're the best or not, you had to pick a category, like a genre of game. Which genre of game would you compete in? Which do you think you would have the best shot? You might not have any shot at all, but the best shot of doing okay. Which genre of game would you pick? FPS? Would it be a strategy game? Would it be a racing game? A fighting game? A football game? Madden? NBA? UFC? Boxing? I'm gonna go to you first, Terry, because you were talking about putting you on the spot first. I don't see myself like,
I don't consider myself, as you guys know, we're doing a gaming podcast. We absolutely love games. I always consider myself as like, I love games, but I don't consider myself as like someone to be amazing at games. Like I'm quite, I like to try and complete stuff, but I don't consider myself the best.
You don't
at
play
anything.
to be the best.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. There's nothing. I'm very much more of a variety kind of gamer rather than one. I do kind of admire these people that just kind of stick to one game or one genre and they just get really good at it. I can't do that. Although if there was one game that I just thought, okay, out of everything I play, I feel like this I'm better at than the average person, it would be like Wipeout. So I'd say if you were putting that as in a genre, like I guess as an anti-gravity racing, but to be honest, it's very niche. It's going to be just Wipeout because
no, you can have Wipeout.
And I think mainly because it is more of a niche game. And don't get me wrong, like again, I used to play Wipeout HD online quite a lot on PS3, and I'd always be kind of up there. Like I'd win a lot of races and stuff like that, but then I'd get my ass handed to me a lot as well by when a real player steps in sometimes. But I think if I went up against a more casual player each time, I could take them down on a bit of AG racing for sure.
What about you, Vince? What could you?
FPS for sure. Just because
an FPS fiend.
Oh yeah, that's makes up the majority of my gaming history, and even kind of bleeding into a little bit of my modern gaming history. So I used to be really good at Halo multiplayer. Obviously, fell off since Halo's not that great.
Yeah,
but I mean, I remember being really good at Halo 4 multiplayer. I'd like towards the end of my play of getting done with Halo 4.
Career then.
No. Like towards the end of my attention span with Halo 4 multiplayer, I was jumping into free-for-all matches just for the hell of it and ended up winning at least 9 out of 10 games I would play. Wow. Like I jumped in like halfway through a match one time and ended up winning. That's how like into it I was. But I think some of those skills still carried over, obviously, playing Doom and Titanfall and all those other great FPS shooters. But not Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
That's a different thing, isn't it? Really, Call of Duty.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. How much longer can you sit in one corner than someone else can?
Yeah.
What about you, Adam?
Now, I'm going to caveat this with just because I'm tossing up between two, it's two of a very bad bunch. So I don't think I'm good in either of them. But if I can't decide between the two, would either be boxing, so more proper fighting,
fight night,
like
round
fight
three.
night. Fight Night Round 3 was my shit. I don't think I.
Oh my god!
Yes. I still have it on Xbox, on the Xbox One. I play it all the time. I absolutely adore that game. Absolutely adore that game. And I love boxing, so I was always pretty good. I did it properly, quite technical with it. Wasn't just sitting in the corner and flicking the analog sticks. The other one would be Formula One. Really good at Formula One games. I've done a few online races and I've done okay. Like I've done okay, not great, not bad. Just I usually top 10. Just stay in my lane and just get on with it. They'd probably be the only two. And I'd probably realistically, if I played a boxing game online, would get destroyed. But I think those would be the two. Like FPSs, I don't. Unless I've got a sniper and not camping, but if a game's got more tactical side to it, like move and cover, stuff like that, I'd be okay. But Call of Duty, my God, you step in there just like, and I'm just turning around, like what's going on? Like trying to work it out. So,
I'm trying to even think of any FPSs where I think like, I could do quite well, and I think I'm always pretty much just kind of like average at them, like.
I am average in most games. Sport games, I usually have an edge on. I'm usually okay, but
Time Splitters, I'd say just because I knew those maps inside out. But then saying that, like, I only ever played that with friends, split screen. So I'm sure if they brought that back with an online mode, I probably would suck. You know, there's probably people that were way much like better than me. You know, it's just like we just never knew that back then.
I'd say the same is probably true with Bomberman. I don't think I ever lost to my friends at Bomberman. Like Bomberman 3D or anything like that. I was usually, but I bet as soon as I played someone who actually liked that game, I'd get my arse handed to me continuously. So
the Micro Machines games,
they were
like
great.
Yeah,
they were great. Like I'm on about like the PlayStation 1. Micro Machine games and stuff like that.
V3,
yeah, V3.
Yeah, so yeah,
driving around the pool table and all of that. That was awesome. It's funny you should actually mention it, Vince. A little bit of a segue. Halo.
A little bit.
You, no, Terry, I don't think you were on. This was our news show, I believe, Vince. The news break that we did. One of the news stories was that Pringles have a sponsorship deal with Halo, and they've released a limited edition flavor of Pringles that is based on some bird from Halo. Is it like?
Yeah, it only makes an appearance in Halo Reach. It's like this ostrich chicken thing, and later on in the game, you see like advertisements for Moa burgers, which is what those animals were called. They were called Moas. So they've made a Pringles version of, I guess, what Moa burger is supposed to taste like. I don't know. I've had these.
For the audio listeners, Vince, just describe what the tin kind of like. The can, sorry.
It's your basic Pringles can, but with Master Chief on it. And the little Pringles guy is wearing a headset.
Of course he is.
Because when you think gamer, you think headset, I guess.
Well, there is Pringles
and
Games
Mr. Pringle,
now, isn't there? Pringles Games.
Is there?
Yeah, it's a new division, yeah. That's why they're doing all this sponsorship with companies and stuff like that. And you could win, like...
That's weird.
With every tin of Pringles, I think they did it for a long time. I think it's only stopped. You could get a month of Game Pass.
Oh, interesting.
And do you want to know a fun fact about this? Sorry, just to go off. I don't know if any of you have ever listened to watched a YouTube channel called The Spiffing Brit.
Nope.
So he basically plays games and finds how to break the game and make it unfair. Like, it's a joke. He never plays online, but he did it with Pringles. Basically in the UK, because we're cheap, they printed the code for the Games Pass code on the bottom of the can. It wasn't even inside. So you could just go into Tesco, lift up the can, put the code in and get a month free. And you could stack them. So people were just going in the shops, just going, take that one, take that one, take that one. And getting years of Games Pass for free.
That's crazy.
In other countries, though, it was underneath the foil wrapper. But in the UK, they were just printed on the bottom.
It was on the bottom of the can.
How stupid
just on the metal bit on the bottom, yeah.
This is not available in the UK, is it, Vince?
No, this is just
this is an America thing.
Okay.
Because of course.
So we're getting a Shifty Crab exclusive.
Yeah.
Exclusive Pringles Moa burger taste test. It was the only can they had when I went. Let's see. Let's pop that.
Commodity.
Oh,
I'm sure that pop?
They're probably not. It's off. It was bad.
Vince is now opening the can.
God.
He needs to have massive.
So first of all, what kind of smell is coming out of there?
Give us the aroma.
Oh, that almost smells like sour cream and onion mixed with something else. I'm not too fond of it. It's not great.
So far,
it's probably not good. It's so, man.
Let's all agree though. The sour cream and onion is the best. Is the default Pringles flavor.
They are.
It's the superior.
They're very good. Yeah, the Texas barbecue one's pretty good as well, but I do believe the sour cream is probably the best flavor.
Doesn't look like a whole lot of seasoning on that. I don't know if you can tell. Nope, camera's too
I
bright.
can't tell, but no.
That makes me
They're the
worried.
wavy ones as well. They're the ridged ones.
Yeah, they're the wavy ones. It's the only ones they had.
Well, I think that's the only flavor they do them in, isn't it? So
Probably.
okay.
Let's see.
Most important bit, give it that crunch.
Moment of
let's
truth.
do that
Moment
crunch.
of truth.
It's in.
That's quite a weird flavor.
The next thing to first.
Mm-hmm.
What we're thinking.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's supposed to taste like. It's got like, I don't know. It's a little bit of barbecue, maybe.
It's the usual staple.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like chicken.
Not
Looks like
really.
chicken. Looks like chicken. It is chicken.
It's very getting a little bit of onion.
A bit of
Not
onion.
really. Yeah, a little bit of
You
onion.
picked up anything meaty?
It's got a little spice to it. I
That's
can kind of
good.
feel.
Is it like I imagine it would be a bit gamey, you know?
Mm.
Bit like kind of venison tasting, but
I don't think Pringles have that superior flavour palette to be able to do that. I think they've got chicken, beef, barbecue as their three staples.
That's a weird flavor. Like, I don't know exactly what I'm getting from it. I'm definitely getting a bit of heat from it. Jesus, it's got some kind of spice on it.
oh,
Do
heat
you
is good.
like them?
They're not bad. Like,
Okay.
I would
you-
Smell
definitely.
terrible, taste okay.
Are you wanting? Are you wanting moa?
Unmaster General,
That's
everybody.
terrible, Terry. It just pains me that you've just come up with that as well, that your head went there.
Get a hint of like pickle or something too.
Oh wow!
All right, you've
This
had a
is
hint
com-
of
this is
everything.
complex
It's a
flavouring.
complex, like, yeah.
It's so wild. I want to know what's in here now. I'm gonna look at the
I mean, it is
ingredients.
wild. You know, it's a
Yeah.
wild bird.
And I bet the thing is just a lot of numbers in some very long chemical words.
How many E numbers we got, Vince?
Not even God. Ingredients: dried potatoes, vegetable oil, seed germinated yellow corn flour, cornstarch, rice flour, maltodextrin, mono and diglycerides, salt.
That gives you the medical chip inside your arm.
So, is it true that Pringles are still not defined as a crisp or a chip? Because there's like a loophole that they use. Like, if you look, there's nothing on that can or that says it's a crisp or a chip.
No.
Because it's something to do with their ingredients. And I think, Adam, I remember reading somewhere recently, there's like a this is going to sound really random, but there's like a crisp tax in the UK which they evade through this loophole, or they did for a long time through this loophole, because they come under a different kind of snack because they don't have the potato quantity in it to define it as a crisp or something like that. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really random. So we all think of them as crisps, but they're actually not really crisps at all, or chips.
It's weird. It reminds me of something. Though. I remember for a long time that KFC didn't have the word chicken in any of their menu items. It's changed now, obviously, but they didn't use the word chicken because there wasn't enough real chicken in there.
Well, it's not even.
Products,
yeah, it's not allowed to be called Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore, is it?
No, it's KFC, but they do have. So if an item, there's a few of their items that have enough chicken, like popcorn chicken. And chicken. There's a lot. They've improved now, obviously, but there was a long time when they couldn't have the word unless it was an urban legend. But I just remember it. I know that McDonald's, that the reason that the pickles are in the meal, that is if they weren't, it could be classed as a dessert because there's that much sugar.
No way, that's not true.
Yeah, that's something that I heard as well. Like, these could all be urban legends. Are you not a heat guy, Vince?
Oh no, I love spicy stuff, but that was unexpected.
Up to these, like Vince is struggling on Pringles. For the audio
Oh,
listeners,
this is wild.
like I think I need to call a medic for Vince. He's struggling. Like,
well, it's not like hitting like you would like flaming hot Cheeto or anything, where like that's it's different. It's almost
Creeps up on you.
stronger. Yeah, like you take a couple bites and you're like, oh, that's interesting, it's interesting flavor, and then you just get hit with this spice that's
not working
kind of
what it is.
overpowering it at this point.
I don't know if you get them in the States, but Terry, have you had them? The Max jalapeno and cheese Max crisps.
Oh yeah,
you
they're
had
so good. They're so good.
They've got a kick to them, but they are so nice.
They have got a kick. They're really good. Yeah, they're like the Walkers ones, aren't they? The Walkers Max, like, which are Lays.
I think you call them Lays over there. Lays, yeah. Lays Max, yeah.
Lays.
I think we're the only country that calls them Walkers.
Yeah,
every other country calls
but that
them
was
Lays.
I believe that was the original. I think it's,
name, yeah.
But even in Spain and
Lays,
it's all Lays, yeah.
In Greece and that, yeah. So but speaking of fast food, I know we talked about it. You were on about those KFC crisps.
Oh yes,
we spoke about them. I couldn't find them anywhere.
Really?
I could not find them, so I ended up just ordering a KFC. And it's as close as I could get.
Yeah,
I had a KFC.
It's a better alternative. Let's be honest.
I know. Yeah, I thought, well, I'll just go all in, and it made me think. We've spoke about it. We've spoke about fast food a little bit before off camera. I thought two things. What do we think the best fast food restaurant is? And this isn't a debate. There's no wrong answer to this. Just what we think personally. And two, what makes it the best fast food restaurant? What is the criteria on what makes it a good fast food restaurant? Is it just the quality of the food? Is it the variety of the food? Like, is it the price? Because that plays a factor into it. So if anyone's got anything to say about it, we're not going round in a circle or anything. What are people's guts telling them?
A few key things that we always have to make sure we've got the definition. Fast food. Are we? This is purely gonna be. We're not including like waited table services here, no.
No, I'd say the closest to that you can get would be Five Guys, because Five Guys you can take away, but that's no Nando's.
Five Guys can be included.
Five Guys can be included. Okay. I would say GBK probably not. Or
and why would
Byron
you?
Burger. Yeah. So
they're gone now anyway, I think.
Yeah, Byron Burger I'd say probably not as well.
Byron Burger's dining, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, Five Guys, and above. It doesn't have to be burgers, obviously. I'd say Pizza Hut and all of them are acceptable as well. Domino's, all of them, but they're delivery services, I guess. But yeah, anyone got any initial?
Well, you threw kind of a wrench into the works with the pizza there.
Yeah, no, you see, it's fast food. Everyone thinks burgers, but yeah, because
when I think fast food, I think I'm going there, I'm going through the drive-through, and then I'm heading right back home. It's like that.
Easy. I can take pizzas out.
Well, this is the thing I want to say.
Carry out and have it.
I want to say about pizzas, right? And I want to ask you this, Vince, because it's something I've actually never asked us on stateside. Pizzas in the UK, like takeaway, like Domino's and stuff like that, Pizza Hut, are ridiculously expensive. Like, I find. How expensive are we talking? Like, I mean, to get a large pizza here, we'd say, and with all the decent stuff on it, you're looking at almost like £20, aren't you?
Yeah, somewhere between £16 to £20, depending. If I go for like a pepperoni with jalapenos, whatever, I'm looking at about £19 for Domino's. So I don't know what that is in American, and in your fake money.
Way much more than like like if you were like looking to get a meal like let's just say McDonald's, right? If you were going to go, all right, I want to get something like we're going to get a meal for the family. We're going to go to McDonald's or we'll get a Domino's. Like the price difference is just so vast and different. Like, and is it the same there, Vince? Like, are you like is Domino's expensive? Would you consider that like
£20 is $27 for a
20
single
pounds
pizza.
is $27.
$27.80, so basically $28.
Absolutely. $28 for a single pizza.
Yeah.
Might be a little much.
This is the problem as well, because I don't know what it's like in North Carolina, but what I found, what I loved about when I went to New York, and I know obviously it's different because it's very pizza centric, but there were so many pizza places where you could go in, and first of all, it was way cheaper. But not only that, you could go in, you could buy it by the slice. We don't have anything like that here. Like, there's nowhere where you can just go buy pizza, like good pizza by the slice. Like, if you want to buy pizza, you've got to buy a whole pizza, and it's a ridiculous price. Like, I always, whenever we used to order a pizza, I love a Domino's, but when I look at what we're going to spend, I'll be like, well, we could get this, or we could get like a really nice like Indian takeaway or a Chinese or something like that, and which I'd always choose over it. And I just find that I don't understand the price thing over here with that.
I mean, for like when you talk about buying for the slice, that's very much a probably regional pizza shop thing. Like, you definitely want to go to, one of the states like that has that, renown to it, or Chicago, like a mom and pop like pizza place. If like now there are places that you can go to buy some pizza by the slice. You can go to like a mall and go to the food court and get some Sbarros by the slice, but it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be garbage, basically. But, I mean, all in all, to kind of answer your question of the price difference, depending on what you get and delivery, kind of that delivery fee they add on there. If I was buying a pizza for myself, that's probably $16 to $20, depending on what I get, what kind of deals they have, and whatever. But if it's just me and my wife, it's probably closer to that $30, $35 range. Again, depending on what you get.
Yeah, pizzas from big chains are so expensive over here. You can go to local takeaways and grab a pizza a lot cheaper, but if you go for your Domino's, your Papa John's, your Pizza Hut, you're going to pay a premium on them.
It really varies by place on that, because like occasionally, I mean, out of the big chains, Papa John's my favorite, just because I think their crust is so much better. I love
Papa John's.
Oh, absolutely. But you go into, if you're looking at like cheap pizzas, like your Little Caesars, that's like $5 for a large pizza that you can just literally walk in and carry out.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, it's good if you get it when it's hot, but if it's been sitting there, it's not going to be great. It just depends on what time you go, depending on which kind of value you're going to get out of it, which is a shame, because sometimes it's really good and sometimes it is dog shit.
But if we were looking at like fast food in general, pizza's included in this, because I'd say it is a fast food option. What are we saying is the greatest fast food, like the best? Are we all saying, it's McDonald's because it's the go-to, or does someone have an opposite opinion?
No. I mean, McDonald's is good. Don't get me wrong. Like, the chicken nuggets there are really good. The French fries, if you get them nice and warm and properly salted, they're amazing, right? But here in America, we have something that you guys don't have, which is Wendy's. And now I have to say, Wendy's is top tier. I mean, some people may not think so, but I think their fries are fantastic because they've got those thicker fries that I kind of like a little bit better. You get those nice and salted. You get some spicy chicken nuggets to go with that, and you're in heaven. Like it's so good. I mean, having tried McDonald's spicy nuggets recently, they're good, but I think the breading on Wendy's nuggets in general is better because it's got that crisp crunch to it, you know? Whether
Okay.
McDonald's.
I want to try these. I want to try these. Like I said
It's
to you
really
before, Wendy's is like I've every time I've been to America, I've never been to a Wendy's. Like always seen them, pass by them, and then never got a chance to go in one. And I really want to try them, particularly for the spicy nuggets, because I'm not a big nugget guy. Like not like because McDonald's, yeah, as you mentioned, like McDonald's is like your tried and trusted. You know, you always know what you're getting with McDonald's. The quality is always going to be like that's what it's going to be. It's going to be there. It's never. I never have McDonald's and been like, oh my god, that was amazing. Like just, I love a Big Mac. Always go for a Big Mac. I'm a Big Mac guy. I had the Grand Big Mac the other day, which is good. As I said, that should be standard. That should just be standard Big Mac. But yeah, the fries. I think arguably the best fries. If you get them good, sometimes you can get a bad batch of fries, but when they're good, they're good.
They're good.
But yeah, I mean, McDonald's is just like I said, like it's you know what you're getting, but I'm never going to rate it top tier for me.
Yeah, it's just it's that comfort, isn't it? You go there and you know what you're going to get. It's never going to be terrible, but it's never going to be game changing. I'd say.
Oh, it really depends on when you go, for sure. Because sometimes I've had some really bad McDonald's.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose, yeah. True. I don't know. For me, it's hard to put a top tier on it because I think a lot of places do a lot of things really well. But if I was going to go for, and I will take pizza out of it for a moment. For me, if I was going to go for quality of burger, it would have to be Five Guys because I think their burgers are incredible. You put some jalapenos on there, a bit of bacon on there, get their cheeseburger, get enough fries to feed a country in your bag, and you know, especially those spiced fries, you know, seasoned fries.
Oh, hell yeah!
It's a heavenly experience. But then you look at like Burger King, and their chili cheese bites are really good.
Oh. Chili cheese bites, man.
They're
so
really,
good.
really good. But their fries are probably the worst.
Yeah,
they're not great.
Yeah, McDonald's, they have the chicken nuggets, which are always good to go to, but the Big Mac is a heavenly experience as well. And
the Big Tasty.
Big Tasty.
Did I have a Big Tasty in McDonald's in America, Vince?
That kind of sounds familiar, but I don't know off the top of my head. No.
It's a good burger.
And then KFC, though, you know, KFC sometimes just ticks the box. You get some KFC, you get, for me, I get like a boneless banquet or whatever that is, just boneless chicken. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about the bone. You're just sucking that down. You know, they've got a new fries now. They don't have the old fries. They have fries with
I'm not a fan of the new fries.
I prefer them. I prefer them, but they're still a medium to lower tier fry.
Yeah. The potato wedges, though? Come on.
Pardon?
The potato wedges that KFC
We don't get them.
You don't? Oh,
no.
That makes no sense.
No, we don't get the wedges.
Oh, yeah, we've had this conversation as well. Like, as much as
we don't get your biscuit or whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I love KFC and I put it up there like near the top for me, we have a very watered down version compared to the US. Like we don't get none of the good stuff that you go over there.
Good supercharger dip though.
Yes,
the supercharger dip's really nice.
Yeah,
I do like that. That's always a good one. But yeah, so I think it's really difficult. I think Taco Bell is good when you're drunk.
Taco Bell's great when you're drunk.
I mean, Taco, like here's my. I think I agree with you, Adam. Yeah. I think it's hard for me. Five Guys is the one. I mean, Five Guys is my favorite burger. It's just an amazing burger, especially with the bacon in it.
It's expensive though.
It's expensive. It's very expensive, but hey, you get what you pay for. If you want like a proper good burger, yeah, I love it. I think they do great milkshakes in there as well. I think I normally get the peanut butter milkshake in there, which is nice. Yeah, the fries, love the fries. I like how simple Five Guys menu is. It's just, what do you want? Burger, cheeseburger, hot dog. That's it. And then you can just chuck in whatever you want at no extra cost. Chuck in that hot sauce in there, some jalapenos going in there as well. Bit of mayo, whatever you want, some onions, fried onions. Oh, come on. It's just so good.
Delicious.
But you're right, it is expensive. It is expensive. But if I'm thinking more just kind of like of the more common, like kind of cheaper ones, it's always between KFC's always been a mainstay of mine.
Yeah.
The original recipe chicken, just getting a big old bucket of original recipe chicken. If it's good, again, you can have a bad KFC.
Yeah. You can.
But if it's good, it's good. And I love the Zinger chicken. I love the Zinger hot wings. Sometimes I'm partial to I used to get quite a lot actually, the Zinger Tower burger. Get that hash brown in there, you know. But the chips are just, for me, they never have been good, and I think the new ones are just dire. And plus, the portion size is ridiculous. You get a bucket of KFC, you get so much chips and so much chicken, and then tiny amount of chips.
And it's pricey. It's not as cheap as McDonald's.
No, it's not. But yeah, for me, Taco Bell, like if I'm not including Five Guys. Taco Bell is my favorite. I absolutely love it. I think more because there's just so many different things from the menu to choose from. Like when I go to Taco Bell, and it's been a while since I've gone now, but I end up spending so much because it's not particularly expensive. It's actually quite cheap, but I just want a bit of everything. I want to get a Crunchwrap Supreme. I want to get a couple of tacos. Maybe I get a crunchy taco. Maybe I get a soft shell. Like get one chicken, one beef. I'll get maybe even some nachos on the side. And you got to chuck in those what do you call it? The
churros.
Churros with the chocolate sauce.
Hell yeah.
And the fries. I love Taco Bell's fries with the spicy
paprika season.
Similar to kind of what you get at Nando's, that kind of stuff. And obviously you got your hot sauce as well. Anywhere I can get hot sauce, I'm in. You know, just chuck some of that Inferno bad boy stuff on. Love it. Yeah, love Taco Bell.
It is a good
So
one.
I'm going to assume,
Go on, Vince.
because I'm pretty sure it's a regional thing. You lot over in the UK do not know anything about Bojangles or Cookout.
No, I've heard of Cookout.
That's what I thought.
No.
That's what I thought. So if you guys ever come to the States, those are going to be a staple. We're going to hit up our KFC, Wendy's. We're going to make you go to a Bojangles.
Food Paul, living the dream.
Oh yeah, that'll be the food podcast for sure.
Yeah,
I'm going to hit up all those places.
Oh man, like
It's
there's so
going to
many
blow
good
your
ones.
mind.
Quick question for you two, because I was just trying to think. Then we were saying about sometimes you get a bad one and stuff like that. Have you ever had a bad Five Guys?
No.
I don't think I've ever had a bad Five
no.
Guys. I've had quite a few because I used to live right by the O2 Arena. That obviously means something to Terry and their UK viewers, but it's in it's in Greenwich, in London, North Greenwich. I used to live right by there, so there's a Five Guys in the O2, and I get quite a lot, and it's never had a bad one.
No, well, they make those like fresh when you order, right?
Yeah, it's always fresh. Yeah, it's not sat there. It comes in the
that would be a mark against. Obviously, not that it's fresh. That would be a mark against it. Is the wait time? Sometimes you have to wait
longer, but
quite a while for your food.
You don't
it's not
rush,
exactly
you don't rush
food.
perfection, though.
No, of course. But for fast food, it is literally pushing that as much as it can.
Yeah, I think it's on the cusp, though. I think it's on the cusp.
Yeah.
I have been very rude, though, and I do apologize. I asked Vince, but Terry, what are you drinking? We went way off topic.
Like 40 minutes, yeah.
I'm just drinking some Jack Daniel's honey with some Coke.
Yeah, I'm on the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. It's the cinnamon
I want to try that.
Coke Zero.
Oh, me too. Anything with cinnamon like that, I'm just like, oh.
And it's heavy on the cinnamon. It is delicious.
Ooh.
Mm.
Is it like
I usually drink it at
like
Christmas.
Fireball spice?
It's
Got a
exactly
little
like
cinnamon?
Fireball Spice. It's exactly like Fireball Spice, but you
love
can
me
drink
some Fireball.
more of it.
Mm.
It's smoother, I'd say. It's not as boom like at the back of your throat. But I love Fireball. But yeah.
Mm.
Oh man, I'm hungry now.
I'm so thank you for that. Adam, seriously,
we would do
this.
this.
I think
20 past 12 here, and I ain't got a chance to get in anything like that. So
I think it's
I haven't even
unanimous,
ate
though,
dinner
right?
yet, but here we are talking about food.
I know. But one day when this pandemic is over, we can do a food tour. Like any excuse to go to America again, and any excuse to go eat fast food in America. Like I don't care if we just film in every fast food joint that we can. Like I'll make it a business expense somehow. We'll have to try out some of these places. A few of them have bled over to the UK, like Home Slice and stuff like that. We have that over here. Like it's
Never had Home Slice.
Yeah, no, we have one in London. I'm sure they're in other places. We had a great place, and it shut down in London, but I think you can still go to it in Manchester and Liverpool, called Reds. Did you ever go to Reds, Terry?
I've heard about
barbecue
Reds.
pit.
I've heard about it, but never been there.
Amazing. It's one of those places like the dime a dozen, I think, in the States, where you pay for like a tray of meat, basically. And it's all done in the fire pit. It's a barbecue, like a barbecue house, like sort of thing.
Oh man!
And they slow cook everything, and you can get like brisket, spicy sausages, like all of that. So and it comes on a tray, and you pay by the weight of the tray, basically.
Oh man!
Eat it. So I've been loaded fries.
I've been to Bodine's.
It's like Bodine's, but bigger and a wider menu, and they have their own signature sauces that are all on the side, and they get hotter as you go along.
Okay, we'll have to do this next.
It's based on a church. It's called. It's basically you're going to Sunday service. You're going to Reds. You have to pray to the meat gods, basically, and all of that. When you go to the toilets, the cubicles are confessional booths.
Really?
Like it's really kitted out. Like they go fully down on it. They've
like in really Ghostbusters, they're hanging their coats up. And
it's you go to in Tesco, you can get some of their sauces. I have the buffalo hot wing sauce quite a lot from there. And it's really nice.
Because I've seen them in there. I didn't realize that was the same place. Yeah,
it's the same place. Yeah, it's got if you look at the logo, it's got like the Holy Trinity style logo there. The praying, but it's a really tasty place. You need to try it. Like they do some great burgers in there, like an incredible menu.
Because Bodine's became like the go-to, like after going to any event in
Bodine's is good though,
yeah, because there's the one at which is near Tower Hill. So like
the one near Liberty Bounds, Weatherspoons. It's like 2 doors down from it.
Yeah, so I'll always hit that up, and I'd get like.
Listening to this.
Yeah, but I'm sure Vince can vibe with some beef brisket, burnt ends, and some spicy sausages, some wings.
Just in North Carolina, aren't you guys pretty high up on your barbecue in the Carolinas?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
and
it's a staple here.
Yeah, I was going to say, like this conversation is right up your ass.
And the ribs and some poutine on the side.
Not so much poutine.
What's that?
Not so much the poutine.
No, you don't like the poutine.
Nothing here.
Okay, it's not really a thing here. We just
it's not here.
That's what England do. We steal from everywhere.
Yeah, this is. Bodine's. I think is it Canadian or is it
Canadian? I think.
I think it's good. Yeah. Because you go in there and it's got all like the kind of moose heads and antlers on the wall and stuff like that. It's got a kind of vibe going to it, like old school wooden like decor and stuff. But maybe next time, maybe when this all blows over, as I keep saying, when we go to EGX. Well, no, I'm thinking Reds. Maybe I want to check out this Reds.
Well, Reds is it shut down in London? So the nearest one's Manchester. So if an event
I'm not driving
in
to Manchester
or Liverpool.
Okay, Bodine's it is.
Yeah, we'll go Bodine's. That's always a good one to go to. Yeah, let's step away from food before I start eating the desk.
Please.
A little bit.
Absolutely starving.
First of all, I wanted to throw something out because I was thinking about this. I don't know if to wait for another. Yeah, we've got time. We talk about games a lot on this. We talk about games that we've been playing and stuff like that. I just really wanted to get a really quick, so you don't have much time to think. What is your most anticipated game for this year?
Is that even a question?
I don't know. For you, I'm guessing it's Halo.
No, Elden Ring.
No.
Come on now.
Oh,
That's
Elden
not
Ring,
coming
of
this
course.
If it's even
year.
out,
Vince.
I said
Give
this
up on
year.
this madness.
I said this
What
year.
are you about to say? GTA 6?
No, that's coming out next year. Yeah, go on, Terry. Do you have any idea?
This year,
Hmm.
I think for me, I mean, there's nothing really standing out in my head, mainly because I have just such a huge backlog of games. I'm terrible in that every time I see a big AAA game get delayed, I'm like slightly smiling. I'm like,
I'm
just like, phew, like, because I'm in no rush for anything because I've just got so much stuff to play. But I think that if there's anything standing out in my head, maybe because I'm so into Final Fantasy 14 right now, Endwalkers, when if it does come out, I know it's scheduled to come out this year. So yeah, maybe that. Unless you remind me of something else, Adam, that I'm not thinking of.
Well, for me, it's probably Horizon. I'd say I just really want a AAA PS5 game that I can really delve into, and put a lot of hours into. You've got that power of the PS5, but I'm playing PS4 games.
Yeah.
It's good, but I really want to push it and see what it can do, and I'm hoping Horizon could be.
I don't think that's going to come out again this year either.
I think Horizon will. I think it'll push everything else, but I think they might get that one out. But I don't know. You might be right. You might be right. One of them, something has to come out this year for Sony. It's not going to be God of War. No. So
yeah,
probably Horizon. I don't think there's anything else that's really.
I mean, realistically, we're both being hopeful.
Yeah. I think we're being hopeful. I think all three of us.
Even saying like Halo at this point is probably hopeful.
I still don't think that'll release this year.
I think.
I mean, things for sure. I'd have to go with Ratchet and Clank.
I actually think what will release this year, Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank will be fun. I do think there'll be the GTA remastered launched at the end of this year. I think it's going to get announced and it's going to be pretty. This is just obviously speculation, but I think if they announce that, it's not going to have a long wait time for it to be a remaster. Usually, you announce that and it's like later on this year or something like that. Like. If they release that and it's got GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, San Andreas in there, that's a great remaster to work your way through. That would be a lot of fun. But obviously, probably won't get released this year if it's even a thing. It's obviously still a rumor.
I'll probably go with Vince though. In terms of games that will be coming out this year for sure.
Yeah,
and games that I really want to play. Ratchet and Clank. But only because I've only recently played 2016, I'm not craving it yet because I just really feel like I've just come off of the back of that experience. But even though I know I'll love it and I will play it, and also Returnal as well. I'm really looking forward to see how Returnal comes out, and I know that I'm going to enjoy playing that, and that's definitely coming out this year. So
hasn't clicked with me yet, Returnal. Hasn't clicked with me yet. Maybe it will. I'll give it a go. I'm usually one of them. I'll buy most games that come out, especially now that we run a gaming channel.
Yeah, it helps.
I try to play as much as possible that's coming out on the console that I can, obviously.
I'd also throw Deathloop in there, but at this point, that game's just a bunch of trailers. So.
If Deathloop comes out this year, then I think I really will look forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun to play. I don't know if it'll be as good as people are thinking it's going to be, but I think it will be a decent game.
Definitely the most interesting new IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to see a new IP as well.
Mhm.
It's always good to be trying something new after we've just pulled the curtain back, just recorded a campaign mode where I've just slated about how you don't need to do new IPs all the time. You can, but it is nice to see a new IP every
Already
once in a while.
backpedaling.
Yeah.
Backpedaling.
I had a strange, like I was thinking about this today when I was editing, started to do some of the edits that are coming up, that we are now about 2 days away from being 3 months old.
Wow.
We're going into, like, we started in January, we're in March, so we're just pushing into our third month.
We can almost roll over.
I know, yeah, we could always roll over. We can start to make sounds with our mouth, and all this. A few more weeks, and we'll be able to drink, go to the pub.
Okay.
But it made me think, like, even though it's a short space of time, like how much we've done in that time frame. And I thought, because with the podcast now is more chilled and more personal and more open, kind of get your thoughts on what you thought this was going to be like going in to the Shifty Crab, why you kind of got involved, like kind of what you've learned, what you didn't realize it was going to be, what surpassed your expectations, if anything did, or if you hate it and you want to leave. Now is the time to say it live on air. At least we'll get some views, and mix it up a bit. But yeah, open discussion, kind of floor is open. What are people's thoughts and feelings, and kind of pull the curtain back a little bit about it a little bit. Anyone got anything to start with? Or
Vince, you want to go?
I mean, sure, I'll go. I mean, really, why I wanted to do this was because I've wanted to do this for a while. I've wanted to sit down, talk about games, talk about things that I like. Yeah, I mean, obviously we cover games, but we've talked about the MCU. We've talked about, for lack of a, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but we've talked about the DCEU and all its kind of shame a little bit. And it's been great. I mean, even when we're not on camera, we've shared our thoughts about like WandaVision and all that. And it's been fun. Like, it at times absolutely seems like work, but at other times it absolutely does not. I mean, we're sitting here just chatting shit, and we just happen to be recording, and we're going to put it out for other people to listen to. That's wild to think about. And like, now sitting down and looking at it and what I want to bring to it, obviously still working on why you should play and trying to get that out as soon as possible. It's been interesting to sit down and look at like how much it takes to be a content creator and to do it consistently and well. I mean, obviously, from the outside, you just look at it and you think people press record and just go, but it's way much more work than you think it is. And I was expecting that to a certain degree, but then actually sitting down and working on my own video, it's a lot of research. It's a lot of, figuring out what you want to say, what you need to record, how many takes it actually takes to record something. Because I mentioned on the Sunday Funday Challenge, like, I sat down one day and it took me 5 or 6 takes to record maybe like 30 seconds. Yeah. And doing that over and over and over and over again it's wild. To think people do this professionally is insane. But it's been a blast, and I really want to keep doing it for sure.
That's good to know. Gonna need that. Yeah. Terry, you got any?
Yeah. First of all, I can't believe has it really been 3 months. It's approaching
We're
3
going into our
months.
third month.
Yeah.
We're just about to dip our toe into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing that kind of shocked me. It's kind of flown by, but yeah, it's yeah, that it surprised me how fast everything has kind of moved. How quickly we kind of because for me personally, it was one of my goals for. I mean, it's been something I've been wanting to do for years. You know, I briefly dabbled in podcasting before, like having a channel and stuff like that, and I know how hard it is to, like, especially with what you're doing, Adam, like just consistently be editing the videos and putting stuff out, and how time consuming that side of stuff is. And so it's just something I never kind of got around to getting back into. But yeah, one of my goals this year was just to be on a podcast. Like I just like, and that's all I kind of imagined to happen like this year. I just thought, I'd quite like to get involved, like to maybe appear on someone's podcast or something like that, or so I didn't even think that in this month, 3 months down the line, I'm not even 3 months down the line, that would have an actual company like channel and so much going on with it and stuff like that, like so yeah, but it's so cool to be doing, because it's something that I wouldn't have ever got round to doing myself. So it's so cool to do it as a collaboration like with you guys. And yeah, just like how quickly I feel we just kind of hit it off, because we didn't really like know each other at all. We like I just, for me, like I'm always I just find passion about anything so infectious. Like I love listening. So I love listening to podcasts. I literally fill my day listening to podcasts, like whether it's kind of funny or IGN or stuff like that, because I just love, my passion is like games and films and stuff like that, and I just love listening to people talk about it. I love listening to that conversation, so I just always wanted to be part of that conversation, regardless of if anyone's listening or watching at all. I just get so much out of us regularly getting together, as you said, like Vince, just being able to just talk about the things that we love. It's just so cool. The fact that it ends up going on online and other people can watch it and listen to that as well. It's just a bonus, it's just so yeah, I mean, I'm just loving everything about it. But yeah, and I'm interested in just kind of pushing it further as well, like creatively, and what I want to start doing some. My ultimate goal is to start doing documentary like videos and things like that, and so it's just going to be a case of just kind of learning these things. But yeah, just doing this is just making me push on and do that stuff faster, because you know what it's like. You can just kind of, if you don't have someone, if I didn't have you guys like doing this with me, then I'd just be thinking, oh, you know what? Yeah, I will do that. I'll get to that eventually, and I'll do it. But when you're all kind of doing it together, then it makes you kind of push forward and do it. But yeah, just really enjoying it so far, and I can't believe how much we've done so far.
Yeah,
So if I think like a year down the line, I'm hoping we're going to be looking back at a bunch of stuff that we've done, how we've improved and stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, it's the origin of this was I had no one to talk to about games.
Yeah.
And I'd come from a background, my degree was in acting. I was used to talking and being on camera in different ways, but I was just like, so I was never really bothered by that. I always wanted to do it, but I was like, I'm not going to do this on my own. And I want to just talk about things that I like and have an outlet. And I wanted people to do it with me. And I've obviously put it out on Twitter saying that people want to join me on this, and I have no idea what it'll be, but it'll be something. And who wants to do it with me? And you guys said, sure, let's give this a go. And we had a team meeting and we hashed out what it was kind of going to be. And there was 5 of us at first, and that kind of turned into 3 when we worked out how much time it was going to take. And the two other people that just didn't have the time to make it work, and that's absolutely fine. And we hit it off really quickly, and we kind of found a working dynamic that worked really well, which I'm going to go into a little bit in a minute. I think for me, the thing that I didn't realize is basically all three of us equal responsibility, equal share in the company, equal say. There's no team lead or anything like that. It's a 33.33 recurring percent, of the company. But I didn't realize how much went into running a business without any of the business stuff, like copyright licensing and copyrighting all of our intellectual properties. And you think about being on a podcast and you have everything, you do it and then you edit it and then you put it out. But that's all well and good when you have the idea to edit. But we sit here and we go, we're going to do something like this, but then we have no idea really what we're going to edit, how we're going to edit that. We have none of the assets. So then we have to make them and go back and forth over what that should be. And I'm so grateful that I have two people with me that are willing to contribute to that, and say, this is how it should be. I have this idea. And nobody can say an idea that isn't going to work. We're all open to everyone's ideas. We're all supportive. And I really, really like that. I like that the three of us have a dynamic that we can say if something doesn't work. We can say if it's great. But it's said in a place of love and a place of just wanting the best for the company. And it's very rare that we're not on the same page on what something would be and how it should look. And the fact that we started, which was going to be a podcast, and on day one, it turned into a podcast of news. By day 5, we've got 3 shows. We're putting a debate in there. We're throwing it into the podcast. And going into month 3, we have 4 shows that go out now. We have locked in 4 shows that are weekly shows. Plus, we have so many shows that are in the works that are coming, that are going to be longer form, monthly shows. And there's 3 of us. There's 3 of us doing this. And none of us come from a podcast background doing a long experience of podcasts. None of us come from a heavy editing background. I don't think any of us have run a company. No. I've met Terry and we've had breakfast together, which sounds really weird. But we sat and chatted over breakfast at a kind of funny event, because we're all kind of funny best friends as well. That's how we know each other. And we take their monocle of being an equal company and just being a safe space where everybody is equal. And all I want from this is, if we can have one person attached to what we're doing and really like to listen, and it can make their day better, and we can do that by having a great time ourselves, and we've succeeded. It doesn't matter if we make money or anything. That being said, the hard parts of it for me is the amount of editing. Obviously, at the moment, because you two both work full time. I got made redundant due to COVID, so I've given myself a year to do this full time. I'll do everything that needs to be done, and then after a year, I'll take on work on the side, or we'll work out where we're at, if we how we're doing, and I'll do part time or I'll stay full time on the editing side. So I'm editing everything, and that takes time. Boy, does that take time! And
that's without throwing in the technical issues which always pop up, like
always
pulling your hair out.
For example, we should have had a news break go out this week, but for some reason the audio was too fast and too slow at the exact same time. Like, it would be too fast for Terry, too slow for me, and there was only one audio channel going in, and I couldn't fix this. And I was trying to the point where the news was obsolete. Like, we've done 4 shows in between. Like, I was just like, I have to give up on it. And I hate that, because everything we do is really personal to us. We really enjoy it, and everyone puts in so much time. So that's annoying, and learning new things. And when Terry has an epiphany, it's always great ideas, but boy, does it change everything that is in my Trello board that I need to do. Whenever
I'm
Terry says, "I've had an idea,"
I'm the ideas man that can't execute on them. So I just kind of think of something and go, right, Adam, make it
work. And then I go and stare at a computer screen, and the first thing I type is usually Google, how do I make this? And start there. And I, for example, I've done a 3.5-hour masterclass on After Effects. So I sat and did all that. But we all bring so many strengths to the table. Like Vince is so on board to do anything. You throw something at Vince, he's going to do it. Like, and he's going to give it everything. And Vince came on doing the podcast. Probably, I'd say, was one of the quieter members at the very, very start. And then instantly found his groove and was just. And now he has his own show, the Sunday Fun Day Challenge, because we realize he's a maniacal son of a bitch. Like, likes to torture people. And he has his own quiz show, and he is running with it. And I'm so happy. And he's going to be doing the first feature. You know, he's going to be doing Why You Should Play Gears of War 4, which is going to be great. Terry is two things. He's the idea creator and passer on, and he's also sometimes he holds out the whip and makes sure things are done, and he's on top of stuff that, because I have so much going on, and he's like, has this been done? I'm like, I need to go do this and stuff like that. And sometimes we'll rein us in a little bit and say, okay, but how do we do this? And which everyone needs. But when it comes to showtime, you know, like, he's on the ball every single time. That's why you're so analytical. That's why you're in charge of the news. You know, you got that eye for detail and that professionalism, which is something that we needed, and you do really well. And I think I come with more of the, like I said, at the moment, I'm editing, you know, so like, that needs to be done. Would I love us to have an editor? Of course. Like, so I could just do the business side of things and the on-screen stuff, of course. But am I enjoying it? It's probably the greatest thing I've ever done. And I've been lucky enough in my life to work in probably about 32 different countries. And I used to work for TUI and travel the world doing zip wires and teaching on beaches. And I lived out of hotels and didn't have to pay a bill for about 8 years. But still doing this brings me more enjoyment than any of that. And, you know, it's great. We're a small company with big ambitions. And you won't find another company, I don't think, on YouTube that have started out and within 3 months have a 1-year plan, have launched 5 or 6 different shows, implementing those shows and coming with it with the 3 of us in it. For me, I'm proud of where we're at after 3 months, but I'm so excited to see where we're going to be after a year. You know, as long as Terry just tones down the epiphanies.
I know.
You know, like
I really try as well. You know, like it's I think my biggest problem, as you said, Adam, like about you know, bringing the whip out and stuff like that. This is just something. This is I can't help it. In that I'm and I mentioned this to you before, and I only had this. Another epiphany recently when I realized that being a perfectionist and a procrastinator, the two are the same thing. I didn't realize that until recently, because I am a perfectionist, and by that I mean that when I want to do something, it's got to be I can't just do something average. Like it's got to be the best. It's got to be like up here, even though I don't know how to do that. I don't have the skill to do it. But I want to be there. And through that, I end up procrastinating because I can't do it. So I think, well, I'll do that one day because I've just got to learn how to do it and I just never get it done kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you're learning editing and After Effects, and to think that you've never done it before and how far you've come in this time is amazing. Like, when you see what you've done with the debate, and obviously what people will see with the campaign mode and stuff like that. And because you kind of know what you're doing now, I'm just thinking, right, okay, like so this is what we need to do. This is where we need to be, because I just can't help it, and I try to rein it in because I know
we don't want it reined in. We don't want it reined in.
I know, but sometimes you have to know where you are, where your limits. We're 3 people. We've just started out, and I'm always trying to like looking at the stars kind of thing and shooting from the thinking, okay, yeah, we could do this. But yeah, it's I think we've got a good, like I said, good dynamic between us where we know where we are, we know where our limits are, what we can do. And yeah, I think, yeah, it's always good, I think, to reach, because yeah, I don't think any of us could just settle and just go, yeah, let's just do a podcast every week. I just think we've got too much in us that we want to do, and you know, time is not infinite. So
exactly, and I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. Like I don't think any of us, and I think that's one of the reasons why we work so well. I think this is turning into a bit of a love fest. This episode of this second half of this episode, which is weird for the podcast, because usually at this point we're ripping each other apart. But I've clearly had too many Jack Daniels. Going, I love you guys. No, is the reason that we do work so well together is because there's procrastination there at times, like with everyone, and maybe there's a nervousness there, but we all have such a hunger to be the best of what we can possibly be. And you look at companies like Kind of Funny, IGN, loads of other companies that my mind's gone blank, but incredible game companies that do incredible content. And I sit and I watch them and go, we could do that, you know, or we might not do it as well as them right now, but what is stopping us doing that? And that was the reason why I sent that tweet out, because I've written that tweet before and not sent it out. I was like, why should, I wrote it maybe at the beginning of lockdown. I thought about it and I was like, well, now's the time. I'm not working. Like, maybe this is the time to do it. And I bought all the equipment without realizing that it was mainly for photography. I was like, oh, I actually have all the equipment really that I would need for this. I was thinking about streaming or something, and I was like, I want to talk more, like, and have that as a side thing. And I thought, okay, no, I'll just leave it. No one's going to want to do it with me. I don't know other people to do it. And then I was watching something. I think it was Kind of Funny, the Kind of Funny anniversary. I think was really pushed it, because I think I sent it out maybe the next day or something similar. I was watching them, and I was watching them celebrating the 5 years and what amazing things they'd done. I was just like, what's stopping me doing this? What is stopping me finding people with like-minded people and just doing this? And if you've got a 1 in a million chance of getting that right combination of people that have the same drive, the same commitment, and people that you can trust to be there on camera and do the work. And you hear horror stories of it, but we have hit the fucking jackpot because we just do the work, whether it's a busy day or a quiet day. Like, I know tomorrow that I have to edit 2 big shows, and I have to start those edits, and I have to have one of them out tomorrow. So I know that when I wake up in the morning, that's got to be done. But you guys know that it will be done. You know, and we have this schedule of things that are going to be done. I know that, Terry, you do the social media and doing a hell of a job on the social media, better than I did when I started doing it at first. And I know when I log on to social media, like, that there's going to be some retro game popping up and probably some shade thrown at me. And there's going to be content there, and it's great content. And I know that when I ask for ideas or feedback from Vince for something, that when he finishes work, because of the time difference, it's a little bit different, I'm going to get it. And to have that trust in each other to say, hey guys, I want to kind of do this, I'm thinking this, and you guys having the trust in me as well when I said, okay, we're going to do the hype videos and I'll get it done, and like saying this is going to be our year, so let me work on this. And you guys said, yeah, go for it. And I put a video together, and the first one wasn't great, and I was just like, I can do better than this. I went away and we knocked out of the park, and we've continued. Every time one of us got runs with something, the other 2 just pushed them. And that's an amazing thing to have in a company. And to think that 3 months ago, none of us had that, you know, and to have that now is a really, really cool thing to have. And we laugh and joke about going to North Carolina and having some weird food places like Wendy's or whatever it's called, and
Yeah,
like and stuff like that.
nailed it.
You've talked about it. I want to go to events and conventions, and I want us to get to a point where people actually want to hear what we have to say about games and hear what we have to say about our lives, and that people are listening, which they are, is such a humbling thing. But it's so nice, that I don't want to miss a date of us releasing something because I know that some people actually enjoy listening to it. Whether it's one person or 50 people or 1,000,000 people, it doesn't matter as long as there's one.
Is that I mean, every company, every YouTube channel, every Twitch stream, everyone starts somewhere. Everyone starts at the zero. They're always at the we're just over 2 months into this journey. Like, so you just got to like I say, fake it till you make it. Like you got to be making the content as if it was being watched by hundreds of thousands of people. You got to treat it like we do. I think we treat it like now as we would do a year down the line, 2 years down the line. We like to make the stuff we want to make consistent. That's the thing we always said. That's one of our main things. We always said, want to be consistent. Don't want to be like, oh, let's not do one this week, or I can't do it. Like, you want to just always consistently just keep putting it out, and mainly because we just enjoy doing it. Like I feel like in the last 2 months we've improved so much, so much just there. So
I feel like I don't want to watch those first videos. I don't want to look at the quality of them. I don't want to look at the way we handled each other on screen and stuff like that. I think now it's much more natural and it's going to improve so much more. But like I think this is something that I would like to look back on in a year and say, where were we at 3 months and what were we thinking, and see where we get to. Because when we off screen, we all talked about what our goals were. Like, and there's a lot of similar goals in there, with certain things. And it'd be so great if we could even meet one of those goals, and we're not saying what they are on screen necessarily because like that kind of ruins it. And then there's also a level of failure if we don't get it. But no, they're personal. And I think it'd be really good if we could make one of them. But I know that me personally, I am too stubborn to let this not succeed. Like, because my wife is always like, oh, he's just doing his hobby. And I'm like, fuck you. It's not a hobby. This is what I do now. This is my full-time job. Like, she's like, are you bringing home a salary? I was like, not yet. I'm in my probation period. I'm working in advance. We have a joke about it, but I'm too stubborn to let that be anything else. So I'm excited for what's coming next because we know what's coming next. We know the ideas that we have, and I think it's great that now we can look at maybe bringing people on as special guests. I think we have a good platform for that now. I think that's the next thing that we're looking forward to doing. And now we have, obviously, I think we've looked at what works, and having campaign mode as its own thing, and the Sunday Fun Day Challenge as its own thing, and releasing it on a Sunday. It's crazy, I know, but releasing that on a Sunday and being able to have Terry on there with us as well.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's really fun.
Son of a bitch doing the PlayStation. I'll tell you what, I was screaming at the screen. So many answers on those. I'm like, that was my time. That was my moment.
Yeah, I think
that's great.
It was good to get that one out of the way without you competing against me. Like, I think that was good. I know we play up these characters on like when we do the debate and stuff like that, but really, like, we're all winners in this. Like, we're absolutely all winners in this, and I think this is the moment before we wrap this up, before I go and have a cry, is me saying thank you to you two for responding to my tweet, which doesn't happen often anyway, and then coming along on this journey, and hopefully it's as rewarding for you guys as it is for me. So,
no, thank you both. I mean, yeah, Adam, when you, as you mentioned, when you put out that tweet, I mean, I don't know where I stand on fate and things like that, but it was very strange. In that very moment, I was writing down on a piece of paper like my kind of goals for the year, and one of them was to be on a podcast. And literally, as I'm writing it, I checked my Twitter, and that tweet popped up. And I was just like, well, if this isn't like a sign or opportunity, like I just thought, yeah, I'd be stupid to just not do this. What's stopping me from doing it? So, yeah, there you go, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I mean, I saw that tweet a day earlier where I responded. So at first I was just like, I want to do this, but that anxiety kicks in. Like, is it really going to be anything? Is it going to be, don't even know this person? Why should I respond? The day after, I was thinking about it, like, this is the moment. I kept going back to the quote Gary Whitta always phrases: if you're not making moves, you're standing still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I did. I went back. I think I DM'd you, Adam.
You did. Yeah, you sent me a DM.
Yeah. I don't know anything about podcasting. I don't know anything about editing, but I want to give this a shot. And you were like, yeah. So here we are. 3 months in.
Join the club.
Yeah. And we're still rolling strong. And it's been fantastic. I mean,
yeah.
Getting to know you, getting to know Terry, hanging out every other day, pretty much.
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
Especially before we really refined the schedule. It was every other day was filming. Now, pulling the curtain back a bit, we film on 2 days, and we stack up the shows a little bit. And this is our first week doing that, and obviously that frees up time for breaking news and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been. I didn't think anyone would reply. Hand on heart, did not think a single person would reply, and I thought that'll be my answer. That'll be a sign for me not to do this and just give up on it.
Well, too bad we did.
This person, I think
give it another 2 months. You're going to be wanting to be back on one of those beaches, Adam. I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, yeah. I think the first person to reply was you, Terry. Saying, and I think you literally said, "This is the strangest thing." Like I was just writing. Yeah, you told me.
I think it literally popped up. That's why. Yeah, it must have been like a minute later or something like that. It's weird.
Yeah. I had a few people said that they weren't quite ready for that sort of stuff, but they'd come back to me if they were and stuff like that. And then the day later, Vince popped up, like after doing his background checks and his, like doing disclosure checks and stuff like that, came in and said, "Hey, is there any? It's still an option." I was like, "Sure." And look at us now.
And that if I was to give any, not that I feel like we're kind of really in a position yet to give any advice, but if I were to give any advice, I'd be like, if you feel like you want to do it and you don't feel like you're ready, you're never gonna feel like you're ready. Just do it. Just throw yourself in it, because if you're anything like me, you probably just like, I want to learn and do some of this on the side before just do it. Just chuck yourself in. What is the worst that can happen? Like, at the end of the day, you're just going to learn some new stuff, meet some new people. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the amount of times where I know we've joked about it, Terry, when he comes up with his ideas, which are 90% of the time really good ideas, and Terry will say to me, "Why don't we do this, this, and this?" We've had this conversation today, and I'd be like, when it's to do with editing and stuff like that, I'm like, I'll try. What's the point of me turning around and saying, "No, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that"? I'll go try and learn how to do it, and then maybe 2 days later, Derek goes, "Oh no, you got this. Okay, we'll do something else." You can only try, and we tried, and now we are doing what we want to do, and I think we've all said it today that we're all happy doing what we're doing, and it wouldn't have come without all of us just taking a plunge, because the truth is none of us were ready. realistically to take on running a company, and which it is a company at the end of the day. You know, we're setting it up so it can be sustainable down the line, and all of the stuff that goes into that and the time that it takes. And I think we're lucky at the moment with me not working that time can be taken up. But yeah, we're we hadn't tried, we wouldn't be here, you know, with our successful YouTube company that makes us a lot of money every month. You know? like,
Wow,
hey, we're still at the very, very beginning of our career, but at least we're at the beginning. At least there is something there. So yeah, you're right. That would be my advice to anyone. My advice to anyone would be don't believe you're not good enough. You know, go find out if you are good enough to do it. That's the only way you will know. Not somebody telling you, not you thinking it. Go find out.
And you have
in life, not just to do with this. Vince, do you want to give some words of wisdom to all of our viewers?
Oh man,
words how to grow a beard.
Yeah, come on, Vince. That beard's got some wisdom in there somewhere.
Just don't shave for a while. There you go.
But this is me not shaving for a while, Vince. This is what I get.
Unfortunate.
I get nothing on the sides, like, you know, just these rosy cheeks. Nothing here. I just look homeless.
Yeah, I mean, with words of advice, if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't worry about the what ifs. If it's something that you want to do, it's something you want to do, and you may as well get it out of the way because, like Terry said, time is not infinite. You have days, years, months. You don't know.
Days, Jesus Christ.
Days, minutes for some people.
It's got dark.
Vince knows things.
I know that.
He's going to turn around and say someone's name. He's going to be like, Sarah Jeffries, you have 2 minutes. That's what we need to worry. If there's a Sarah Jeffries listening to this, I'm sorry that I just put your name out, but don't worry.
Yeah, man. Poor Sarah.
Something could happen that you never know. You might not be able to do it. But if it's something you want to do, take the plunge. Just get out there. Like, don't wait around for opportunity to come to you. Take that opportunity.
Wise words. I think we're all saying very similar things.
Yeah,
it's going to be uploaded to one of those like motivational speaking YouTube channels.
It's going to be I'm gonna send this off.
Where it's got like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like you can do it,
You can do it. Or Matthew McConaughey, like just doing
I'm
switch.
Going off. So I've got his book. My wife bought me his book, Green Lights.
Green Lights, okay. Yes.
Have you read it?
All about that. No.
Oh, okay.
Is it good?
I work in a bookstore, so.
Okay.
I've seen that a million times.
I started reading it because I wanted to get it because I there's something about Matthew McConaughey when he just talks. I just have to listen.
He's incredible at just telling stories and just talking.
And he was on the Hot Ones. I don't know if you guys watch the Hot Ones on YouTube. I watched, and he was on the Hot Ones and he was promoting it. I was like, I've got to read this book because, it's kind of like semi-biography, but more just kind of like stories and words of wisdom from his learning from his life. But I'm in the beginning of it, but great read, good stuff. Matthew McConaughey, all right, you know.
All right. He's had some really famous, he's been at universities and colleges doing motivational speeches, and some of them are really, really good. His Oscar one is quite good as well when he won the Oscar. But he's chasing himself in 5 years' time. That's who he's always trying to beat.
Right. Okay.
He's just never beat them.
He's just
always
full
5 years ahead.
Full of anecdotes and
drugs.
Yeah, and drugs.
A lot of weed, I think, from stories that go around.
Probably.
Yeah. A lot of weed, a lot of drink. But the guy's wise. He knows what he's talking about.
He is wise.
Well, I think that's a natural end to the. Really, it's not the first podcast, but it's the first podcast in its new.
It's format. the first of the new and tasty, tasty podcast. Yeah,
where we just strip it back a bit, and we just have a laugh, and there's no real agenda to it. So nothing that we need to follow. But guys, Thanks for being here, Vince. The best, I can say it properly this time, even after a few drinks. The best beard in the business, the beard of war, Mr. Vince Haley. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a blast, as always. Love the podcast.
Going to ask you one last question on an outro that you can't think about it. You just have to say it straight away.
Okay.
Which fast food place has the best drinks? Go.
Has the best drinks? Oh, man.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
3,
Their Coke is amazing.
Okay. Terry?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying thank you first. Wait yourself.
Okay.
You're not getting the same question.
God damn it.
Yeah. Terry, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
It has certainly been emotional, this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go sit in a room now and just try. No, your question about fast food is, which fast food restaurant has the best sides?
Best sides. KFC.
KFC. Oh, okay.
Not bad. Good choice.
I have been Adam. Anyone have a question?
Which fast food does the best nuggets?
Ooh, good one.
I think they know what they're doing. We don't have Wendy's, so I can't. There's not many options, to be honest.
Okay.
I think there's only McDonald's or Burger King. So
there's McDonald's.
Yeah, but does KFC popcorn chicken count?
Oh, KFC popcorn chicken counts. Oh, KFC.
I guess are they kind of nuggets? Are they nuggets? Are they nuggets, Vince?
Kind of. Well, they're labeled as popcorn chicken, so you assume it's probably kind of a different thing, right?
All right, then.
I feel like they got like a different texture and everything to it, right?
Welcome to the second half of the podcast where we recap everything
I'm
we
so
spoke
hungry.
about.
I'm so hungry.
All right, guys, we're going to end it there. But thank you to you guys for watching. Remember that our whole kind of schedule has changed. So you're going to see this today, which will be Wednesday. On Friday, you're going to have our big beefy news break, which is going to be hosted by Mr. Terry Jeffs. He's going to bring you all that hot and tasty news throughout the week, all the best, most succulent pieces on the bone. And me and Vince will be there just to act like we know what we're talking about. Yeah. Then on Sunday, you are going to get the Sunday Fun Day Challenge. Last week, it was me and Vince. This week, Vince is going to put me and Terry through our paces to see who can be the SFC champion for the week. And we'll see where that goes. On Monday, you can catch Campaign Mode, which is where we take the debate and we've given it its own show, its own style, and we just have at it. This week, we are trying to work out what the best game development studio is of all times. So head over and see what we are arguing over. Once you've seen it, head over to Twitter, go on the poll that we have on Crab Shifty, and vote for your winner there. As always, every day, we have stuff going over on our social media. So head over to Twitter and see what is going on over there. You'll see some retro games, some breaking news, and some discussion going on. And then, it'll be back round to podcast times.
And don't forget, all of these are available on audio podcast as well.
2 of them are available on audio podcasts. Terry, once again, with an epiphany, has decided to put all 4 of them on. That is not what we agreed. 2 of them are on. We're going to have the news and the podcast will be live.
Sorry, live. So I'm talking about the podcast. This show.
Yeah, the podcast and the news break will be live on. Not live. That's a lie. Will be available on podcast services, all your favorite podcast services. You have all past 7 episodes of the podcast are on there with their debates. The news break will start going live from Friday on its own channel over there. And then you will catch the podcast every Wednesday. It will go live at the same time there as it does on YouTube. I think that's everything. Yeah, head over to social media, all of that jazz. If you like this, please give it a like and subscribe and comment below. Let us know what you think about the fast food, what your favorite fast food place is. And as always, stay shifty.